Hello, welcome to Verbling. I'm teacher Oakley, and for the next hour, we're going to be poets. There is a very simple, structured, specific type of poem called a cinquain, because there's 5 lines. The structure is very simple. I'm going to spend a couple of minutes explaining the structure to you, and then you will make your own poems. It's very simple, but it does require a little understanding of English. You have to know what adjectives are. The structure of the poem itself is actually based on English grammar. So it's useful to do this, and as well see if we can be a little creative. Hello, Heidi.
Oh, hello. Nice to see you again.
Hi.
Actually, I don't like poems so much.
I know. You've told me that before. I'm surprised to see you, actually. Honestly.
I can't understand what they're saying.
Yeah. Well, okay. Anyway, we can try it out because it's an interesting. Well, it's not. Actually, it's sort of almost an English version of haiku. Haiku has very strict rules about it, how it's to be formed, right? What are the rules for haiku?
Oh, we need to use 17 letters, Japanese letters, 575, and we need to put the seasonal word, like for example, spring, cherry or thing, and summer, green leaves or like green, or and shower or a lot of things for summer season.
Right. So, okay, haiku involves the lines the characters, of course, obviously in Japanese, but in English, that translates to 575 syllables.
Maybe 5 syllables and 7 syllables and 5 syllables, like that in America.
Yes, exactly like that.
And you need to put some seasonal word.
Absolutely. Yes. Right. Absolutely. Yeah. No. As a student in America, I definitely remember writing haikus in school. Believe it or not, we were definitely introduced to that and analyzed the symbolism of haikus and all that wonderful stuff that you do in school. Yeah, I remember that. I remember kind of liking it. I'm interested in them. Okay, Carolina has joined us. That's great. I was hoping for at least 2 students so you guys can make a poem together. Hi, Carolina.
Hi, teacher.
Hi. Okay, welcome to the class. All right, let me explain these Cinquain poems. Plenty of room in the class. Any other students here at Verbling want to join us? Come on in. It would be great. Okay, here we go. This is quite simple. There's nothing too dramatically difficult about this, other than, I guess, the most difficult part would be coming up with creative ideas. Cinquain, by the way, quain is a base or root word that means 5. And as you can see, there are 5 lines in this poem. Okay, here's how it works. The first line is one word, which is the title of the poem. Let me show you an example. Dog. Okay, it's not too difficult so far. The title of the poem. The second line contains 2 adjectives that describe the title. For example, dog, friendly, playful. Okay. Not too difficult. The third line has 3 words, which are ing words. All right? Very strict rules. Barking, fetching, jumping. For example, with dog. The fourth line may be the tricky one. 4-word phrase that relates to the poem, relates back, of course, to the one word, the title of the poem, obviously, must relate to. For example, a man's best friend. And then the fifth line is, again, one word, a synonym of the title. So there you go. Dog. Friendly, playful, barking, fetching, jumping, a man's best friend, hound. That's it. This is called a Cinquain poem. And, okay, I would like you guys to try to think of your very own during the course of the class, but we won't actually look at that or even talk about that to the last 5 or 10 minutes or so. During the course of the class, if you got a paper and pencil, see if you can figure out your very own. In the meantime, as an interesting exercise, we are going to attempt to make one as a group. We're going to take turns with the different lines. Before we get started, let me welcome Johnny to the class. Hey, Johnny. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. How
And
are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good. I just finished work and then I attend to the class.
Great. Good to see you again, as always. Okay, let's give this a try again based on our rules, our straightforward rules, and our example. Okay, Heidi, you can start with the one-word title.
Thunder.
Thunder. Very nice. Oh, very nice for now. Okay, thunder. All right. The next line will be 2 adjectives which describe the first word, the title. Carolina, 2 adjectives.
Exciting.
Oh, okay.
Um, 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 and horrible.
And what?
Horrible?
Horrible?
Horrible? Yeah.
Okay. Exciting. Horrible. Okay. Okay. Johnny, now, the next line has to be 3 words that end with ing, like gerunds, like such as barking,
Okay.
fetching, jumping.
So the first one, cracking,
Okay.
shining,
Shining. Oops.
and the last one I think of sounding, but I'm not sure. So are there any word that I can to make it like a sound?
Yeah, okay. Interesting. Interesting choice. Sounding, of course, is a word. And it's not inappropriate here, actually, Johnny. It's not often used in this way, but it is possible. It is kind of used that way. For example, a person sounds off. Okay. Let's talk about this for a minute. It's interesting. Johnny, do you know what that means if a person sounds off? About
So
something, probably.
so maybe ask them to keep their volume down, or maybe just like to ask them to not.
Okay. No, this is a phrasal verb, so it has a specific. It actually has 2 different meanings. The okay, I can say, okay, Alan has been sounding off all week about the new parking rules. for the company employees. That means, what do you think that means? Alan has been sounding off all week about the new parking rules.
So, which means Alan didn't say anything or maybe didn't complain about anything about the parking rule.
Opposite. It means he's been complaining loudly and continuously, and not, he isn't whispering in the corner. He's saying it publicly, loudly at the table with 12 other employees during the lunch break. He's not being shy about it. If you sound off about something, you're being very public, even loud. So I know you have sound off, you're thinking negative, but actually, strangely, English is so strange.
Yeah. So
Actually,
it's
it's
positive.
the opposite. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Soldiers, also another meaning. Soldiers sound off. For example, it's actually a command for soldiers, like, right step, about face, sound off. Hey! The soldiers shout.
Okay.
Okay. It's actually a command for soldiers to shout.
Okay.
Sound
So
off. One, two.
that means shout as well. So sound off.
So make a sound. That's right.
Okay.
Right. So to sound is to make a sound. It's almost never used this way, but it's similar to this phrasal verb. It's almost never used this way, but it is possible to make a sound. To tell you that, okay. Now, there are lots of other words that we can use to talk about the action of making a sound. Cracking can be the sound, actually. Booming, reverberating, no, I can't think of any. Clapping, maybe. So I don't have any, but I don't have any problem. I like it because it's in a poem. I don't have any problem with sounding here. What I slightly have a problem with is shining, actually.
Also, it's not a sound. It's like I want to say it. The thunder is shining something.
Well, it's okay because we're writing a poem, so you can be, you can be metaphorical. You can use it as a symbol, what you think of. We're writing poetry, so there really are no wrong answers. If that's what thunder makes you think of, then okay, then it's not wrong. All right, so I don't want to say it's wrong, but thunder is the sound. Lightning is the light. Two different things.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, we can leave it. It's okay. It's poetry. Everything goes. Anything goes. You have what's called poetic license. All right. You can. In English, we call it poetic license. You can do whatever you want. You can break. Grammar rules. People do it all the time in poetry and in fact, in creative writing, fiction, and in lyrics. Music lyrics are always breaking the grammatical rules, using vague or different symbolism. Okay, let's continue. Heidi, thunder now, our next line. Tough one here. Fourth line, a four-word phrase that relates to the poem. Like a man's best friend.
Like people start rushing home.
Oh, that's good. I thought you said you were bad at poetry. You're not bad at it. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. That's very good. That's exactly the idea, actually. An action or an imagery that the word brings up. Excellent. That's called imagery, by the way, people. And imagery, a fundamental part of poetry. Can you paint a picture in people's minds? And for me, at least, that does. That's good. Now, this word thunder. Now, Carolina, you have the hard part. This may be the hardest one. Because our fifth line is one word that can be a synonym. Yeah.
Will be tempest.
Oh. Okay. Tempest. Okay. It's not exact. I don't know if you can come up with an exact synonym for thunder, really. This is one of those English words that doesn't really have an exact synonym. And it certainly doesn't have an antonym either. What's the opposite of thunder? Okay. Tempest is pretty close. I got to give it to you. That's not bad at all. Okay. Not bad. Thunder. Exciting, horrible. Cracking, shining, sounding. People start rushing home. Tempest. It goes. Actually, it goes with the imagery of Heidi's line. Not bad at all. Pretty okay. You guys are poets. You can be published. Nice job. All right. Let's do another round. Because there's 3 of you and there's 5 lines. It's going to rotate what you have to do, and that's perfect. Johnny. Again, first line is one word, which is the title of the poem. So, Johnny?
Okay, so I can say anything.
Anything.
Okay, only one word. Teacher. Teacher. Sorry. Oh, I want to change it to teacher.
Yeah, okay, I'm just joking with you. Teacher.
Yeah.
All right, next one, 2 adjectives. Heidi, back to you. Adjectives associated with teacher.
Intelligent.
Okay, fine.
And cheerful.
Okay, I'm not quite sure about the appropriateness of these adjectives. But I'll give that one to you. It's a little too complimentary, but okay, fine. Carolina, next. Do you remember what the next line should be?
Yes. ING. ING.
Yeah. 3.
Confusing.
There we go. Alrighty then.
Another one could be difficult one. Difficult one. Depending.
What again?
Depending.
Depending? Like
Yes.
this?
Yes. Could be.
I'm not quite sure what your meaning is though.
I don't know because I can change. I can change. Driving.
Okay. Driving. Okay. We can come back to depending. We can change it. Whatever. I'm just interested what you're trying to mean.
Managing instead of depending.
Okay. What did you mean by depending? Is that what you meant? Like managing?
Because I thought that some people depends of the education, so we depends of the
Oh, I
teacher.
see. Okay. Instead, okay, then you're kind of saying it backwards. The student, if the word was student, then you might want to put depending, and that would make perfect sense. Instead, Carolina, the student is the depending one. The teacher is the supporting one.
Okay, supporting is a one.
Okay, you see my logic there?
Yeah.
Okay, confusing, driving, managing, supporting. All right, that's pretty good. I can relate to that. Oh, it's supposed to be 3, right? Yeah, 3, not 4. Sorry, I got carried away. Which one should we get rid of? You got 4 good ones.
The first one, confusing.
I actually like that one, but okay.
Okay, problem.
No, whatever. Doesn't matter again. No problems. Okay. All right, Johnny. Now you get the 4th line.
Okay. So the in how do you say that word? Imagery. How do you say that?
Oh, imagery. That's how you say it.
Imagery.
I
Imagery.
I like the idea of imagery. Now look in this first example that we have, though. We have dog, and then we have really an expression, a very common expression, a man's best friend. Doesn't have to be. The idea, all the rules tell us is here. The 4th line has a 4-word phrase that relates to the poem or relates to this first word. So it doesn't have to be. I was commenting that I really liked Heidi's 4 words because it definitely has the sense of imagery. It paints a picture in your mind. You can't read this without, I can't at least, without a picture in my mind of people hearing the thunder and quickening their steps and trying to get under cover before the rain breaks. It's very strong imagery. I like it.
So instead of using a sentence to describe a situation.
Yeah, you can do anything you want. The only rule is it relates to the poem or relates to the title, so it relates to teachers in this case.
Okay, so my sentence will be student.
Okay.
Student enjoy listening to Oakley. Maybe one more. One more word.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Oh, now you got 5 words, right? Yeah. Is there any way we can manipulate this?
Maybe I change the listening to I don't know.
Oh, there is a way. I can certainly think of a way to change these 5 words to 4 words and not change the meaning of the sentence. Tricky English. How about your classmates? Can you guys, since this is a cooperative adventure, can anybody think of a way to change this phrase to make it?
I think I got a solution.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe I can remove your name so it related to teacher, so teacher student enjoy listening to.
Okay. Yes, you could. Here's another possible solution. Oakley's doing a possessive. Okay, this is what just to share with you. I like your solution. We're going to keep that, but just to show you what I was thinking. All right. Oakley students enjoy listening. There. Now it's 4 words. See? It's possible to change your sentence structure around, add possessives, do different things to create a. Really doesn't change the meaning, but it's the same thing. But okay. I'm okay with this because it's teacher in general, students enjoy listening to. Okay, Heidi, back to you. Synonym for teacher, 1 word.
Instructor.
Instructor. Okay. All right, there it is. Teacher, intelligent, cheerful, driving, managing, supporting. Students enjoy listening to. Instructor. Okay, that'll work. Pretty straightforward there. Okay, if we do another round, everybody will get a chance to do every spot, I believe. Let's do at least one more. Carolina, you're going to start this one. What is our subject?
Mountain.
Mountain. Okay. Carolina, by the way, in English, Spanish speakers and Portuguese speakers tend to really stress the second syllable of this word. It's really, in English, it should be very unstressed, should be just a schwa sound, short and fast. Mountain, 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 tin, mountain, like that.
Okay, say again, please.
Mountain, mountain, even mountain, mountain.
No, mountain, mountain. No,
Tin,
difficult
tin,
one.
tin, 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 tin. Really fast. Tin, mountain.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Mountain.
Okay, there you go. That's it. You had it that time. Okay. Yeah, Carolina, I live in the Philippines with a lot of Spanish influence in the language here.
Mhm.
Although everybody has English as a second language, there's still a lot of Spanish influence. When they say the English word mountain, it sounds like mountain. They really stress, I'm going up to the mountain. It sounds
Yeah.
really weird to me. Yeah. Anyway, so it's English speakers, it's really short. Mountain. Okay, continuing. Anyway, Johnny, next. You've got the
To
two,
objective.
yeah, two
Yeah.
adjectives.
Adjective. So can I use giant to describe mountain?
Why not?
Why not? Okay.
Okay.
Giant and magnificent.
Magnificent. Magnificent. Giant, magnificent. Okay, that'll work. All right, Heidi, you get the 3 ing form.
Climbing. Breathing.
Breathing?
Breathing of fresh air. Breathing.
Oh, okay.
Lumbering.
What? Lumbering?
Lumberjack.
Lumber. Okay, this is interesting. Now, wait, let's talk about this for a minute. When you said breathing, okay, the imagery for me, that was my imagery. I've done a lot of mountain.
Climbing. Breathing.
Yeah, okay. Which is funny, and that's okay. Now, actually, you were thinking of breathing the fresh air, and that's funny. It's interesting. What you have is, I could call this ambiguous imagery. Do you know what ambiguous means? Heidi? Do you know the meaning of ambiguous?
Not clear.
It's not clear. There's 2 possibilities, 2 or more. It's unclear. Often it means that there are 2 or more possibilities of what the meaning is. And there's nothing wrong with that. Actually, that's actually considered to be a good style of writing when what you're saying can mean 2 different things. It adds another level. So it's good. Now, lumbering. Okay, now this is interesting as well, because I know what you're thinking. You're thinking of the forest, the trees, and lumber. So, but do you know what the verb to lumber means, actually?
No. Cutting tree? No.
No, that would be the obvious. That would be the intuitive. That would seem very logical. But of course, as we know, English isn't always exactly logical, is it? No, to lumber. What lumbers? Let me. A turtle, a Galapagos turtle, a giant turtle lumbers. To walk very heavily and slowly, a really, really large man would lumber across the street or down the street. To lumber is to walk very heavily and kind of slowly, which in fact you may actually do if you're climbing a mountain. So interestingly appropriate, although maybe unintentionally so. Um, the uh, the word for interestingly, the word for actually harvesting trees is harvesting trees. The action that the people do, of course, you know that the person who harvests trees is a lumberjack, right?
Mm.
Okay, so when they're working, they're lumberjacking.
Lumberjacking. Oh, it's very good.
Okay, but when it's interesting though, if I'm talking about it in general, I wouldn't say ABC Wood Company is lumberjacking the forest. I would say they are harvesting. We actually use harvest just like for vegetables or fruit to talk about collecting wood or whatever. To make boards and such. Okay, I like lumbering though. Kind of goes with the climbing and breathing and lumbering. I actually think that's great. Okay, Carolina, you get the next line, the descriptive 4 words.
Beautiful icon of Bogota.
Okay. Beautiful icon of Bogota. Okay. Are there, well, I will assume that there are mountains surrounding the city?
Only one, a big one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's it called?
Is the central mountain of the Andes, Bogota. It's around the city.
Okay. What's the mountain?
The name is called Monserrate.
Zapata?
Monserrate.
Okay. Montserrat? Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, well that's interesting. There's a Montserrat in Europe too. I
I
believe in
think,
Switzerland.
yes,
Isn't
I
it?
think so.
I think so. Interesting. Okay, thank you. Just find that interesting. Okay, which Johnny, that gives you the synonym.
The synonym, rock.
Rock, like rock and roll. Rock. What? Is there a synonym for mountain? Okay,
Uh,
you're not
I don't know. What about cliff?
cliff. Well, a cliff, of
Yeah.
course, is a drop off. What's strangely, I had a dream about this last night. No, I did. I had a dream about it, explaining the difference between cliff, bank, and embankment. I'm not kidding you guys either. Seriously, I had a dream about this, that I was teaching this in class.
Oh, you
So
can
I'm
predict.
going to do it right now. I'm going to teach you. What's the difference, Johnny, between cliff, bank, and an embankment?
What's the difference? The meaning is
Yeah,
different.
yeah, they're similar. These 3 nouns are very similar in meaning, but they're slightly different.
Cliff, bank, embankment.
Any idea? Does it? Anybody know? Anybody else? Heidi, Carolina, do you know the difference between these 3 words?
No, teacher.
No? Okay. A cliff, whether the cliff is by the water, whether the cliff is up in the mountains, it doesn't matter. A cliff is basically, you can consider it this way. It would be unclimbable without a rope. Okay, you just simply could not manage to climb it without a rope. It is basically vertical, up and down, straight up and down. A bank is by a river or the ocean. Could be, but usually a river bank. It's not a cliff. It's not necessarily straight up and down. You can climb up a bank. And an embankment is steep, like a bank. An embankment is a bank, but not by a river. Anywhere else. An embankment you can climb, but you're gonna have to like bend over, and you're actually you're using your hands to climb because it's very, very steep. Same thing with a bank, but a bank is generally by a river. Okay, so that's the difference. So a cliff is not a mountain, it's a feature of a mountain. All right, but not necessarily a mountain. There's a word, I can't think of a good synonym for mountain either. There's something tickling the back of my mind. It's on the tip of my tongue. Another word, but it's not coming to me.
I've got a question. What's the synonym of something? What's that mean?
Okay. The synonym of something is something that means as much as possible exactly the same thing. Okay, so like mad, angry, furious, these are all synonyms. They all pretty much mean exactly the same thing.
I got it. I got it.
So, all right, they don't have to be exactly the same. Sometimes synonyms, there's a degrees of how synonymous something is with another thing. They're not always exactly identical. Not only that, but you can have synonymous phrases. In addition to synonym words, you can have synonymous phrases. Okay, so rock isn't exactly the same as a mountain, but okay, maybe symbolically, I suppose. Okay.
And what about hill? Is a synonym of mountain?
Hill?
Yes.
Yeah. Now see, there you go. There you go. It is and it isn't at the same time. I wouldn't really call hill the same as mountain. I wouldn't, because by definition, a hill is not as tall as a mountain. It's a hill if it's not a mountain. It's a mountain if it's not a hill. If it's too big to be a hill, it's a mountain.
Or maybe a hill is a part of mountain. Is it?
It can be. Those are called foothills, specifically. When they lead up to the actual mountain, not all mountains, but many mountains have foothills. It's very, very common.
Okay.
How about summit?
Summit, that's a lot. That's pretty good. Okay, the summit refers to the top of the mountain, of course. Yeah, summit's pretty good. Yeah, summit's maybe closer, the closest one I've heard so far. Right. Just all mountains do not have foothills, by the way. Volcanic mountains that just wham, they're sticking up out of the ground like a giant cone. They tend to not really have foothills. Sometimes they do, but sometimes they don't. Okay. Yeah, I've been kind of messing around, procrastinating. I'm trying to think, because there's something in the back of my mind. There's another word for mountains, and I cannot think of what it is. I keep thinking like monolith. Okay. Let's see. Hopefully you guys have been thinking while we were talking about all this stuff. Hopefully you've been thinking about your own. So let's try. Now, you guys have made some wonderful collective poems on your own. Let's see if we can do a round of individual poems. Heidi, da, 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 da. You're on.
Okay. Ocean.
Okay. Adjectives.
Large.
Mm-hmm.
Wide. The same. Large, wide, and
Large, wide.
enormous. Or,
Yeah. You gonna keep that? It's okay. Whatever. All right. Now the third line are 3 ing words.
3 ing word. Swimming, fishing,
Okay.
swimming and fishing. Bathing.
What? Bathing?
Bathing.
Okay. All right. 4 words that go. 4 words that describe or go with. Related to is what's required. Related to. Ocean.
Feeling sad.
Huh?
Feeling sad in autumn season. In autumn. In fall. Autumn.
Yeah. I like autumn better. Sounds more poetic than fall. And the synonym.
No, that's sea.
Yes, obvious synonyms. See, some words have very obvious synonyms. Some words it's very difficult. Thunder, I really can't think of a synonym for thunder, for example. That was a tough one. Okay, very good. All right, that was interesting. Carolina, what can you do here?
Okay. Mother.
Mother.
Yeah.
Okay, good subject. All right.
Beautiful and charming.
Okay, beautiful, charming.
Next is understanding.
Okay.
Caring. How can I say that? Caring?
Caring?
Yeah.
Caring. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Compromising.
Compromising. Okay.
Compromising.
Clearly you've
The
never
next-
met my mother, but okay.
My phrase is my life's great love.
My life's possessive.
Yeah. Possessive.
Mm-hmm.
Great love.
Grat. Okay. Great. Okay. Ooh,
And the
what's
last one.
synonym?
Mom? Mom? I don't know.
Mom.
Mom.
That's sweet. All right. Well, that's very nice. I think you should write that on a card and give it to your mother for Mother's Day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Writing gift cards. Hey, there's a class. There's an idea for a class. Write cards. Like that's a good one. Actually, I'm going to write that down. That's an idea for a class. We can write different kinds of birthday cards, anniversary, sympathy cards. Okay, Johnny, what have you got?
Internet.
What?
Internet. Yes.
Oh, I thought you said intimate.
Oh, sorry. Not internet. Internet.
All right, I thought we were going to get a little
Yeah. Fun.
sexy there.
Connected.
Fun. Connected.
Serving.
Okay, good one.
Actually, serving like the serving in the ocean.
Surfing.
Yeah, as oh, how do I yeah that one? How do I pronounce it? Serving.
Surfing. What you're doing is because you're voicing the sound. F and V are the same in regards to how you hold your teeth on your bottom lip. The physical movements are exactly the same. What you're doing is you confuse me because you're voicing the sound, so that when you voice it, it's a V. When it's unvoiced, it's an F.
Oh, okay. Sur
There's no sound with the F
surfing.
sound.
Surfing.
Surfing. That's it. That's a lot better.
Yeah.
Surfing.
Surfing. Yeah.
Surfing. That's it.
Sharing.
Surfing. Whatting?
Sharing.
Sharing?
Share. Yes. Googling.
Okay.
Or maybe verbaling.
Very funny.
Yeah.
Googling. All right.
Connecting each single one.
Okay. Single. All right. Each single one.
Yeah. And the
Okay.
last sentence is cyberspace.
Okay. I was wondering what you're going to come up with there. Okay. Connecting each single one. Okay. Nothing wrong with this, but just a quick comment. I know you're using one here basically as a pronoun to talk about people, right?
Yes.
Okay. Generally speaking in English, although there's no grammatical rule about this, okay? Try to avoid using one as a pronoun to talk about people generally. If you want to talk about a specific group of people, then that's perfectly normal and fine. Okay, there are 14 girls in the Girl Scout troop. Each one of them is wearing a beret, like that. Fine. You're
So I
talking
need to
about the individuals.
mention the person first and then to use the one next.
Yes. Yes, that's the idea.
Okay.
Exactly. So it is clear that it is a reference word. When it's sort of just hanging out there in general, sometimes it can be ambiguous. Each single one what? Right? Because we don't know what we're referring to. Single what? You can use, one as a reference word to talk about anything. I can talk about I have 6 pencils. Okay? Each one of them is missing the eraser. Every single one of them is missing the eraser, which is true, and I don't know why. Where do my erasers go? It's very strange. I never erase anything. I don't bite them off. I have no idea where they go. Very true. Okay. Now, notice all of our examples today, the first word has been a noun. I think that's very normal for this type of poem. But I would like to try something else with you guys. They've all been very concrete nouns, things we can touch or see. Let's try something different. I'm going to start us off in a couple of poems and let you guys finish. Boom! Grammar. Heidi? Adjectives. 2 adjectives.
Difficult, confusing.
Okay, that was predictable. I could have easily predicted those 2 adjectives, but okay. Carolina, 3 ing words.
Memorizing.
Okay.
Painting.
What? Fainting? I'm gonna pass out. There's too many. No, what did you say? I'm
Uh,
sorry.
and calculating.
Calculating.
And challenging.
Okay. All right. Memorizing. Calculating. Challenging. Okay. Okay. Uh, all right, Johnny. 4 words that are related to grammar.
4 words that related to grammar. Oh, okay.
Yeah, connecting each like that.
Okay. 4 words. 4 words. Can I say hating? As
What?
I don't like grammar.
Hating? Like
Yeah.
hating? Like to hate? Yeah, sure. Give me 3 more words.
3 more words. Okay. Um, um, okay. Grammar. Oh, that's a difficult one. Grammar.
There.
Okay.
Not that difficult.
Um, what's the word that I want to say?
Don't know.
um, sorry, I can't think of any words that related to grammar.
Uh, okay, so you're hating forgetting it.
Hating forgetting, hard to memorize it.
uh, okay. Hating forgetting how to.
Preposition.
Okay. All right. Um, subjunctive. Oh, goodness me. Don't even go there. Okay. Uh, all right. Well, maybe. There we go. Okay, Heidi, back to you though. What's that? Oh my goodness. What's the synonym?
Language.
Language? Okay. All right. Here's my idea. I was thinking torture. Language. Okay, language is much better than my idea, of course. Much more appropriate, naturally. Okay, let's try one more. I'm going to throw out another very abstract concept. Uh, okay. You know, grammar is also torture for your teachers. Sometimes it's a very straightforward, if it's a very straightforward rule that doesn't change, where there's no exceptions, it's actually fun to teach and it's okay. But the crazy grammar rules that have a million exceptions or there's like 1,000 different ways it works, it's really quite annoying to teach as well, just so you know. Have some sympathy for your teachers. Okay, to switch it around, I'm going to go, well, actually not switching it around. It's Carolina's turn. Purple. All right, much more abstract. What are you going to do with purple?
Purple is a color?
Sure it is.
Okay. Is creative.
Creative?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. I like it.
Um, and attractive.
Attractive or unattractive?
Attractive.
Okay. You know, a matter of opinion if it's attractive or unattractive for you. Okay, that'll work. All right, Johnny, 3 ing words.
Coloring.
Okay, that works.
Hmm. Um, darking. Is it that's a word, darking, because the color is not that shining. So is it a word?
Are you saying darking?
Yes, darking. Yeah.
Well, almost. Look, here is the real word, Johnny.
Oh, darkening.
Darkening. Yep.
Okay. And the last one is interesting.
Really? Okay. Interesting. Interesting
Color.
choices of words.
Color.
Yeah, I get it. No, that's great. Heidi, what do you think?
Mixed red and blue.
Okay. Well, there you go. All right. Red, blue, yellow. Do you know what those are called, Heidi, by the way?
Mm-hmm.
Red, blue, yellow.
Three elements of color.
Yeah, they're called primary colors.
Primary color.
Yeah. Okay. And finally, Carolina, one word synonym.
Could be dark violet.
Yeah, or just violet. Yes. Okay. Very good. Oh, I like this one. This may be the best one, actually. I kind of like this. This is really kind of what it's supposed to look like, this Cinquain poem. Excellent job. I'll be releasing this in a volume. I'll be publishing this. Okay. Oakley's Class Writings. I'll send you guys all a copy. All right. Thank you very
And
much.
money.
And money? Who said anything about money?
Thank you.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, teacher. Bye.
Bye.